Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Kahar Chisate with the evening news. The headlines. Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat's mortal remains consigned to flames with full military honour. Chief Minister Neiphiu and Deputy Chief Minister Patton call for human rights for all. Nagaland Governor summons 10th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly on December 20th. NSF stages dharna at Raj Bhavan area in protest against imposition of AFSPA. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the fresh corona variants is also causing concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated. Please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075 and State Helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news in detail. Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat's mortal remains were consigned to flames with a 17-gun salute a little at Brar Square Crematorium in Delhi cantonment this evening. Mortal remains of General Rawat and Madhulika Rawat were brought to Brar Square in a funeral procession. Thousands thronged the route taken by General Rawat's procession to pay last respects to the country's first Chief of Defence Staff. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the 3 service chiefs were among those who paid their last respects. Daughters of General Bipin Rawat, Kritika and Tarini, paid tribute to their parents. Other members of the family also joined them in paying last respects. Emmanuel Lenain, Ambassador of France to India, and Alex Ellis, British High Commissioner to India, also paid their tributes at Brar Square Crematorium. Military commanders of Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal and Bangladesh were also present at Brar Square. Earlier, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and several union ministers paid tributes to General Bipin Rawat and his wife at his official residence. Chief Justice of India, Justice N.V. Ramana, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, BJP President J.P. Nadda, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, members of Parliament, chief ministers of several states, Army Chief General M.M. Naravane, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary, and Navy Chief Admiral R. Hari Kumar. Several officers of tri-services and foreign dignitaries also paid tributes to the departed souls. Human Rights Day is being observed today. On the occasion, Chief Minister Neiphiu has called for working together for justice, equality, dignity and human rights for all. Deputy Chief Minister Patton has called upon the people to commit themselves to ensure that we stand united for justice and equality despite our differences. Patton, in a tweet, urged for strengthening our stance on preserving and protecting the human rights of everyone. In Walker culmination program of 16-day activism against gender violence was celebrated on the occasion of Human Rights Day today. Speaking at the program held at DC's conference hall, SDO Civil, Silamla S. Sungtam said that volunteers from DLCW, MSK and Saki One Stop Center conducted door-to-door camping to spread awareness to end violence against women. She encouraged women folks to voice out their rights in order to bring about gender equality and continue working to bring positive change for women. Human Rights Day is celebrated on 10th December every year since 1950 in commemoration of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations in 1948. Nagaland Governor Jagdish Mukhi has summoned the 10th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly on 20th of this month. Commissioner and Secretary, Nagaland Legislative Assembly, Dr. P.J. Anthony, in a press release informed that the session will meet at 9:30 a.m. at the Assembly Hall, Kohima. Yesterday, the Core Committee of Parliamentary Committee on Naga Political Issue, headed by Chief Minister Neiphiu, in an emergency meeting, decided to hold a special one-day session of the Assembly to discuss the controversial Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958 and the Naga political issue. This news comes to you from All India Radio Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on our YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Naga Students Federation, NSF, under the aegis of the North-East Students Organization, NESO, yesterday staged a sit-in dharna at Raj Bhavan area in protest against the imposition of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, AFSPA, in northeastern states. NSF President Kegwahun Tep demanded that the government of India must immediately stop its policy of militarization of the northeast region on the pretext of solving the Indo-Naga political issue through petty lip service. Eastern Naga Students Federation President Chingmak Kumchubachang also appealed to the highest authority of the country for judicial inquiry to identify all the military and army personnel involved in the incident to be booked and penalized. President Ramnath Kovind has said equality is soul of human rights and our rights are shared responsibility. Addressing the Human Rights Day function organized by the National Human Rights Commission NHRC in New Delhi today, Kovind said, India has saved many lives by providing COVID vaccines to the people of the country. He said the NHRC issued several advisories during the COVID-19 pandemic and worked with other stakeholders to strengthen the health preparedness. He said COVID-19 pandemic has affected humanity and made a devastating impact on vulnerable populations. The President said COVID-19 pandemic is not over yet. He also congratulated doctors, scientists, and corona warriors for their heroic efforts during the coronavirus pandemic. Speaking on climate change, President Kovind stressed on promotion of green energy for protection of nature. Nagaland today reported 3 fresh COVID-19 positive cases, 2 from Kohima and 1 from Dimapur, taking the total case detection to 32,146. Total recovery from the infection has gone up to 30,275, with 7 more recoveries reported today. No COVID death was reported for the second consecutive day today. Peck District Hospital celebrated its 50th anniversary today with MLA Kuzulizo Nyenu as the special guest. Speaking on the occasion, Nyenu said, celebration of 50 years is a very significant day where one needs to introspect and retrospect and rededicate for betterment of the people. The MLA warned the people about COVID-19 pandemic and asked them to take preventive measures. He thanked the doctors, nurses and hospital staffs for their tireless service to the people. MLA Kejeni Khalo requested them to continue giving the best in serving the people. SMO Dr. Ngopelo Kevichu gave a brief history of the hospital. Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said the Northeast can emerge as a hub for rubber production. Addressing the Destination Tripura Investment Summit through video conferencing yesterday, Goyal said the central government has planned rubber plantation on a total of 2 lakh hectares in the Northeast states over 5 years. He said Tripura is the second largest producer of rubber in the country with 30,000 hectares of cultivation. Referring to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's clarion call of transforming Northeast into Asht Lakshmi of India, Goyal said the government has accorded priority to focus Northeast program. He said a dedicated Northeast desk of Invest India has been set up to improve infrastructure and promoted industry. And now, to end the news, here are the main points once again. Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat's mortal remains consigned to flames with full military honour. Chief Minister Neiphiu and Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton call for human rights for all. Nagaland Governor summons 10th session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly on December 20th. NSF stages dharna at Raj Bhavan area in protest against imposition of AFSPA. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.